Hi, have you ever reacted impulsively, then regretted an unplanned purchase during an online flash sale? Do you feel good when you help a nice person and enjoy their thanks and appreciation? These natural and positive feelings are also the backdoor that fraudsters use to steal your personal information, data, and money. In 2017, online fraud became the most commonly reported crime in the UK, with a cybercrime being the most likely offence to affect you in your own home. As we do more and more of our business online, many of us are now taking control of online risks to avoid becoming a victim. Keep watching to learn about the risks and how to make better choices when dealing with network technology. People are the weakest link in keeping our data and our money secure. Taking responsibility for the choices that we make online will help reduce the risk of becoming a victim. The NHS Counter Fraud Service works with health and other public services to manage their risk of fraud and corruption. We do this by identifying the highest risk areas and work to prevent fraud, detect it, and investigate the fraud we find. CFS reports the outcome of its criminal investigations direct to the Procurator Fiscal Service and pursues financial recovery where possible. It also works with professional regulators to inform their fitness to practice investigations. Visit our website at cfs.scot.nhs.uk to find out more. Social engineering describes how fraudsters manipulate us to do what they want, like access to our information, our accounts, and our electronic devices, usually to steal our money. They use tactics that some call the social engineer's toolkit that exploit three common features of our behaviour. Firstly, we like to be liked and respond positively to kindness. Fraudsters know that we feel good about helping other people, particularly when a person has shown kindness and interest in us. To lure us into their scam, the fraudster may cultivate a friendly relationship with us to build our trust in them. The second of our exploited behaviours is that we are less rational when we believe a deadline requires our action. Social engineers also know that we can be rushed into making poor decisions. Think how people behave impulsively during flash sales, such as Black Friday, not taking time to research other options. Interestingly, a study from 2015 showed that at least half the items described as flash deals could be found cheaper before and after Black Friday. The third exploited behaviour is our tendency to comply with requests from authority figures. Fraudsters aren't shy about pretending to be from the police, your bank's fraud department, or even the chief executive of your organisation to trick us. Let's look at some of their techniques. Phishing emails look like legitimate messages from trusted friends, colleagues, business contacts, or from organisations relevant to our employment. Fraudsters often attach a Trojan file or a link to an infected website containing malicious software that gives them access to monitor and control your internet device or business network. The message may claim that the sender has lost your personal information or that one of your online accounts is at risk. It will usually prompt you to act quickly. Sometimes the fraudster will already have some of your personal information, as we post a lot on social media. They may already know your name or who you bank with, and they use that information to make their request all the more believable. This type of attack is called spear phishing. Vishing, or voice phishing, is similar to phishing, but contact is made by telephone. Examples include calls requesting remote access to your desktop computer to resolve a technical issue, or calls claiming to be from insurance companies inquiring about a car accident that you were involved in. Fraudsters have even claimed to be from the fraud department of a person's bank, encouraging them to hang up and call back on the number printed on the back of their card. They do this to gain your trust. Be aware that scammers can tie up your line for a period of time so that it appears as though you are making a new call when in actual fact you are reconnecting to the same scammer who called you. Smishing. Essentially phishing by SMS text is when a fraudster targets you with a text message to your phone. A particular risk for smartphone users because text messages can contain links to compromised websites or phone numbers. They insert a fraudulent message into a string of genuine messages on your phone, making them look legitimate. Often, customers receive text messages from their bank alerting them to fraudulent activity on their account, urging them to contact the fraud team via a link. Pretexting is when a fraudster pretends to be someone else in order to trick you into giving them your personal information, your passwords, account information, or even your money. This type of scam relies on trust between the victim and the fraudster, so they may take time to build trust with you. Sometimes they claim to be your bank manager or the police, knowing that we comply with requests from people in authority. Baiting happens when fraudsters leave storage devices infected with malicious software, like a USB stick, where they are likely to be found by either random people or targeted individuals. They hope that our curious nature makes us pick it up and plug it into a networked computer, giving them access and control to manipulate our information and transactions. Receiving a storage device at our home through the mail service makes us even more likely to plug it into our computer. And if you still doubt that anyone would plug a USB stick that they found on the street into their computer, a study in America showed that of almost 300 devices discarded around a university campus in an experiment, almost half were later plugged into networked devices. These frauds involve cold calling us, either by email, text message, or by leaving bait. To guard against them, we can take a few simple steps. Beware of unsolicited emails, particularly from unknown sources. If you're asked to click on links requiring login credentials or personal information, take a moment to verify if it is genuine. Contact the caller or sender independently of the message that you have received to confirm that the request is genuine. Don't follow links in the email to get to the company website or contact details. Be careful to never give out personal information to anyone who has cold called you. Always contact the company via previously verified means to confirm that the request was genuine. Avoid clicking links or opening unexpected attachments, even if they appear to come from a trusted source. Email addresses can now be spoofed to appear to come from another address, and it isn't always easy to spot this. If in any doubt, check with the sender that what you received was sent by them. Make sure that you have antivirus software on your computer and smart devices, including your mobile phone, and make sure that all operating software and all apps are updated when new versions are released. Never plug an unknown device into your computer. Let's think of our own habits in relation to protecting your personal and business confidential information. Start by taking a moment to think about the various accounts and systems that require you to input a password for access. Now think about the number of unique passwords that you use for these accounts. It is highly likely that we have more online accounts and systems than unique passwords to access them, often unaware that we should use unique passwords for each. What about your email account? Most people use one email account for all of their online business. If that email account is compromised, a criminal could use it to access all of your associated accounts as well, finding personal information that you may have emailed in the past. For example, emails may include highly sensitive documentation relating to buying a house. Strong, unique passwords improve our cybersecurity, but choosing strong passwords can be difficult, and we often rely on words or phrases significant to us. Many people use a loved one's name, a favourite holiday location, or a sports team. The type of information we also share on social media with both friends and fraudsters if your access settings are public. Criminals trawl social media for clues to our passwords and identity, and will use that information against us. They may even extend a friend request to you using a fake profile so they have access to even more of your information. Check your social media settings regularly and avoid becoming online friends with someone you don't know in person. Many people try to disguise their predictable passwords by substituting a letter for a number, but these passwords are easily guessed by hacking software. When you are choosing a password, you should use 3 random words to make it more difficult for a criminal to guess your password and access your accounts. Add special characters and numbers if required. Adding 2-factor or multi-factor authentication to your accounts adds an additional layer of security. Multi-factor authentication is based upon something you know, your password, something you have, a code generating token or your mobile phone, something you are, your biometrics such as your fingerprint. Requiring these additional factors really helps secure your account. For example, with 2-factor authentication, if a criminal knew your password, they would also need to be in possession of your token or your phone to complete the login process to access your account. If having a strong password is like closing your door, adding multi-factor authentication is like locking it. If you have any devices in your home that are operating off default passwords, that is the password that the manufacturer set, find time to change those passwords to something unique. For example, many people do not change the password on their internet modems or home CCTV kits, and these default passwords allow hackers easy access to your home and network. When we go out and leave our trusted networks, many of us take advantage of the free Wi-Fi provided by shops, bars, hotels and restaurants. But did you know that public Wi-Fi can be set up to steal your data? Whether you are using Wi-Fi for work or personal business, take these precautions to keep your data more secure. Always look for trusted hotspots and do not log into services via public Wi-Fi. If you need to log in using your username and password, you should do this using your own mobile data, then switch across to the Wi-Fi. Criminals can easily set up Wi-Fi hotspots and trick us by giving their hotspot a legitimate and familiar name. This can be done easily by switching a letter for a number or adding a character to an existing legitimate network name. Take time to explore, understand and control the settings and app permissions on your device. Do you really want your device to jump onto the strongest available Wi-Fi hotspot without asking you first? Are you okay with a gaming app on your smartphone having access to your microphone or camera? And it's not just our smartphones, tablets and laptops that are at risk. The Internet of Things is ever growing and continues to make our life easier. But when our TVs, fridges, printers and kids' toys have IP addresses, there are even more risks and ways in which fraudsters and cyber criminals can cause harm. Now we know that fraudsters use the social engineer's toolkit, we can scan our messages for signs that raise suspicion, like deadlines, authority, or an unusually friendly approach. We learnt that passwords are strongest if they use 3 random words, and that we should use different passwords for different systems and accounts, using multi-factor authentication where possible. Finally, we outlined the increased risk of being online whilst on the go, taking care around public Wi-Fi networks and controlling the Wi-Fi and privacy settings on your mobile devices. Remember that people are the weakest link in keeping our data and our money secure. It is up to each of us to take responsibility for the choices that we make online and reduce the risk of becoming a victim. If you think that you have been a victim of fraud, contact your local police by calling 101 or visit www.actionfraud.police.uk. If you suspect fraud against NHS Scotland, contact Counter Fraud Services via our confidential fraud hotline on 08000 15 16 28 or visit our website at cfs.scot.nhs.uk for more information.